Hey, we're day two at Vortex World Headquarters. I'm Kendall. This is Paul Neese. Paul has some amazing history, so he is actually going to give us a little rundown of some of the areas. We're going to do a drive-by of all the spots that they will let us show you, and some that they won't.
There's a few.
There's a couple of high secret areas. But come along and watch the story as we unveil Vortex World Headquarters. So here in this, when you walk in Vortex World Headquarters, Paul, we're right here in the showroom, and this is impressive. The view, dang amazing. I mean,
we've got a great place to show off optics here. We can, when it's nice and warm out, we'll take the guys out with spotting scopes and binos, and they can see everything here.
Turkeys and whitetail running around.
At the right times of year, we've got critters out there, and obviously you can see every optic is here for guys to use. They're welcome to take a rangefinder, bino, spotter, and rifle scopes.
A selection of everything. This is a candy store. This is certainly impressive. So first impression, this place is awesome, beautiful, and there's some awesome mounts. And this is a showroom. This is and everyone's welcome, right?
Everybody's welcome. Absolutely, come on out here, hang out. We love to have people come out.
Hours that you guys are open?
We're generally open to typical hours, 8 to 5 during the weekdays. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So take the day off work, come out to Vortex. If you're wanting to check out rifle scopes, Paul, you got nearly 70. We counted almost 70 rifle scopes right here.
Pretty good selection. Yeah, it's all of our most popular models. Yeah.
So you can come, basically feel what it's going to feel like with a stock, looking through any of these optics.
Yep. It helps a lot for guys to be able to actually pick that stock up and shoulder it, and you get to feel for the eye placement, all that. It's just easier than hand holding it. And you can see over there we've got the AR-15 rifles.
All the hunting and some of the tactical and the AR platforms over here. There's more optics than you have day to look through, I'm sure.
You could spend many hours out here.
If you don't know about the Vortex VIP warranty, this is we're going to go through the warranty repair facility.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Some of the badges of honor or the
these
gold,
are some of the more dramatic
gold,
ones
silver medal winners are right here. It looks like those binos in the back got munched by a bear or something.
Chewed on, burned up.
Who knows what
probably
happened?
Fallen off a tripod or a cliff
that
there,
spotting scope
broken
is duct
in half.
tape. There looks like a gunshot through that one.
That one had a 300 Win Mag go through it down there.
So these are some of the badges of honor. Vortex's warranty is second to none. And we're going to check out the facility today where they look at those things.
The ones that they can fix.
And repair.
These probably aren't.
These ones are unfixable, but
they were replaced.
replaceable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So here we've got the brand new 6 to 36.
It's our new Gen 3 Razor.
Gen 3, just launched today. So what is different in this guy versus the older?
Well, this is taking over the place, and we'll still sell both of them. But this is kind of the new flagship. The predecessor would have been the 4.5 to 27 by 56 Gen 2. So the improvements there are several in there. I think to me the number one improvement is the turret. It's a nicer turret. It has a simpler design that uses a single set screw on it. And then the zeroing adjustment is just done right here. You don't have to remove an external cap on it.
No more unscrewing four times,
no
popping
more
turrets off.
unscrewing, trying to even up 3 screws. So you loosen this screw, you do your zero, and you tighten a single screw, and you're all done. It's very quick and easy. And although the scope it's a little bit longer than the 4.5 to 27s, it's also lighter weight though, which is a big thing. And I think the number one thing that we got requests on to improve and make a little bit better over the 4.5 to 27 was weight. And these are actually, although they're longer, they're lighter in weight.
That's awesome.
Brand new reticle design in there, a couple nice tweaks in there. It's the EBR 7D now, as opposed to the C. So a couple little tweaks. We have a lot of staff PRS shooters. Those guys always have some feedback and improvements they'd like to see. So those are incorporated in there too.
Sweet.
Uses the same, side focus, locking illumination knob on there. But it's a great improvement over the prior one. And of course, it is a brand new optical design. I should mention that as well. It's a new design, so there are improvements we can make there. So I would rank this one a little bit better in resolution and optical performance over the 4.5 to 27.
Yeah, the whole Razor line's been awesome, and with the improvements this one's sure to be an awesome seller as well.
It's going to be a big seller. Yeah, definitely.
Sweet.
If they let you behind the curtain, the first group of people you're going to see are the consumer sales team, and these are the guys.
Yeah.
If you've got questions and you call in, this is the team that's going to handle that. And they have some dogs. There's dogs all around here. There's optics
we're full of
everywhere.
yeah, this is. I mean,
these are the experts right here.
These are a great crew of guys, very knowledgeable of products. They can answer any type of questions that come up, whether it's installing a scope, how to shoot, how to use a turret, how to use a reticle. These guys can handle everything. And of course, they're taking calls from all over the country, I mean, the world for that matter. And then, we get guys in the showroom, and they're taking care of them too. So great crew of guys.
And from sometimes you'll see these guys on some of the really funny Vortex videos.
That's true.
On YouTube. So it's I've seen a few movie stars. We might get some autographs a little later. Pope and Young.
He's a trophy squirrel.
One of the things that I noticed first off on my first time through Vortex was just a really cool imagery of fighter pilots, bombers,
amazing artwork.
Other planes. Tell me a little about why Vortex puts these on the walls throughout this entire building.
Absolutely, yeah. If you were to walk right, and what we're seeing here is just a drop in the bucket, as you know, Kendall. This is scattered all throughout our whole building. But both Dan and his son Dave, who were part of the founding family of Vortex, served in the Air Force, and Dan actually served in the Navy as well. So there's a very deep appreciation here for the military and that background and the history and all of that.
Gotcha.
And it's just an amazing collection of images here. As you can tell,
it's a museum. I mean,
very heavy on Air Force.
You could spend 3 or 4 hours just reading about each one of these images and what the history is.
Absolutely. I find myself hitting these periodically and seeing, and one will catch my eye that I just haven't paid attention to before and looking at it. So it is amazing. It's really incredible.
It's a beautiful addition to the building, plus a nuance that caught my eye my first time here, and even the second time I found myself stopping and reading about each of these, and this is beautiful. It's really a nice piece.
It's a big part of the sort of the core value of Vortex here is that appreciation for the military. So absolutely.
Oh yeah.
The showpiece.
Dogs on display. Paul, I'm getting a little hungry.
It's about that time.
There's more than one place for you to grab some food, relax. I see little nooks and crannies where people kind of escape to and eat. This is one of them.
Yeah, this is one of our lunch areas. I believe we have 3 here in the building. Don't hold me to that, but there's plenty of places guys can find. We've got food in the vending machines, big fridges. Guys can keep their lunches in, and it's nice.
So people don't have to really travel a long way from their. That's kind of their desk or their working area. There's these places conveniently located or strategically located in the design of the building, so that you can kind of hang out, and eat, and go back and forth to your desk.
Yeah, lots of space, plenty of food.
It's impressive.
It's pretty
nice. I would want to work here. Like if I lived in the area, this is top of my list.
And now we're both hungry.
I know. Paul, we're out here in the warehouse.
Right in the middle of the warehouse.
This is where a lot of the action happens.
It is.
This looks like an auto parts store or something. There's like bins for days. What's going on right here?
It's a pretty good analogy. That's exactly what it is. So, here we've got all the little parts and pieces that might go into binoculars and spotting scopes and rifle scopes, stuff like lens covers, caps, you name it, every little part and piece. And some of this would be available for consumers to buy. Others, it's just like if you were in an auto dealership and the mechanics are going to get parts and pieces they need to put something together. But you can see, I mean, we carry a wide amount of all this stuff. Every piece has got little components to it. So. And
then right behind us, or right in front of us here, are these. This is the warehouse where all the orders come down. Most all the optics are being sold through like retailers like BlackOvis.
Absolutely.
So a lot of these are going out to different dealers. Some of the clothing might be going out to guys that bought it on your website, or maybe bought it on our website. It's getting packaged up. This is a pretty clean warehouse. I mean, we do warehouse, and we've been in that business a while, but this is a clean facility.
It's a pretty well-oiled operation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is a nice view because you see the orders getting staged to pack. You see the guys packing here. They're going out the conveyor, off to the shipping. So it runs very well, and these guys are busy all day long. I can tell you that.
Yeah. If the storeroom is a candy store, this is like the candy warehouse. This thing, yeah, you could get lost in here. We're not going to open too many boxes.
We'll need that name, the candy warehouse. I like that.
Absolutely. The same one. So once this empties, it just...
You just pull the box and then you have to crawl back there.
And like, yeah, pull it through or go to the other side to push it through.
Yeah.
We're in the repair and warranty facility, Paul. We're going to do a full breakdown of different things happening, but this is an impressive place, and
it is.
You've got a handful of guys because you guys have a zillion products. So if you've got issues on binos, spinorscope, whatever, call first, and then second line of defense is these guys right behind us. So this is
cool.
And
you're going to see these guys are very good about taking care of everything, whether it's a binocular, spotting scope, rifle scope. They can tear everything apart and put it all back together in no time flat. So,
crazy fast. So dive on in and we're going to check it out. So all you guys are expert rifle scope
Yes,
guys.
I've been working in this department since 2014.
Okay, 7 years.
Yeah.
Going on 8.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm going to 9 years almost here for Vortex.
So tell me about like the kind of the process or what's interesting. I'm sure you got some crazy stories about stuff that's come through, but what is kind of the process, or what do you guys end up doing when I send back a rifle scope that I think is broken or something's not right?
So when they come in, they're right here, and then they create a service order. So the service order will say, let's say for example, this is a 4305, and that's what the guys send it in for.
Says like this is what's going on
Yep.
with it.
Yeah, exactly. They fill out a service order, and they'll give us a description of what's going on with it and what they think is going on.
This guy said it looks like he sighted it in.
Took hunting and 2 misses, got home, shot 4 shots using a lead sled, which is not a very good thing to use. Each shot dropped 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So basically, he's saying the scope is not holding.
Says
serve.
windage does not move.
Yeah.
So he wants you to figure it out.
Yes, exactly. He wants us to figure it
will
out.
then come over to one of these workbenches.
Correct.
And you guys are going to, in some cases, disassemble the whole thing.
Correct.
And look at every single part. How many parts would be in a given rifle scope?
Oh, that is a good question. It varies from the rifle scope to rifle scope. Like a Crossfire has a lot fewer parts compared to a Razor.
Gotcha.
A Razor has a lot of parts.
And you guys don't want like anyone messing with those once you put them on the table, correct?
Well, yeah. What do you mean, like?
Yeah, you're not gonna like come around and move some parts around or anything weird like that.
No. Oh, no. No,
Yeah,
not at all.
Don't let your kids in here.
Yeah, don't let the kids in here. And plus, we're all pretty experienced, so if somebody does come in and move some parts, like,
You already know what they are.
yeah, we already know what they are.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But how long will it take to go through one scope? If you grab that scope today, broke it down, what does a typical process take?
Anywhere from, depending on the issue of the scope, anywhere from 5 minutes
Cool.
to an hour, I would say. The most maximum repair is probably an hour.
There you go. You got a challenge. If you can take apart your own scope, reassemble that 1 hour, there might be some room for you here at Vortex World Headquarters.
That would be the maximum. Most repairs now, since we're all experienced, doesn't even take an hour.
Whew. Yeah, I don't know where I would still be reading the instructions after about an hour, so don't do that at home.
So then we bring them over here. And then we evaluate the scope. Like, for example, I got a PST 1605 right here. It came in the reticle. Since on these, you might be able to see it on it itself. No. They got a little fiber optic that runs down here. That's for the illumination.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See, yep. So there's a little fiber optic that runs down. This actually, the fiber optic split off the reticle. So it looks like the top stadia has 2 reticles, two stadias. So it slides over a little bit.
What is that you're looking into there?
This is called the collimator. This is what you put our scopes on to test everything on it.
Gotcha.
So it can test the travel, the tracking, the parallax, make sure the parallax is on, everything. We test everything on it. Without this piece of instrument, we could not do our jobs.
And you got a ton of tools here. This is a pretty awesome workbench.
Most of our tools are made right in-house in the in-shop here.
You guys are making most of the tools that assemble and disassemble these
Yep,
these
to make it
scopes.
a lot easier.
Wow.
Because so we don't have to use spanner wrenches from the stores or something like that. So they actually take it to the machining guys and make the measurements and make the tools. Bunch of them.
So don't try this at home, folks. Just send it into Vortex. They'll take care of it in
Exactly.
5 to 10 minutes. If Scott's working on it,
It'll be
some of
done.
These other guys may be a little slower.
No, we're all good.
All right.
We're all perfect. We're all good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What one last thing before you send your scope in, what would you tell like customers like to consider before they end up sending something in?
To call it in the customer care, because they might be able to diagnose the problem right over the
Really?
phone.
Okay.
Like for example, somebody saying my turret is freely spinning, where the turret cap itself dial might just be loose and it just spins. And
Gotcha.
all they have to do is tighten the screw.
So there might be something before you send it in that they can help you with prior to getting it right here to Vortex.
Exactly. Yep.
Gotcha.
And the guys up in customer care, they're really good. Like Tim and all them, they're really good. They're really good at diagnosing over the phone.
So ask for Tim if you call in.
So after all the scopes are repaired, we purge them with Argon. And this is the purge tank right here. All the scopes are in here are repaired.
Going to take all the air out
Yep.
so that
This is
you don't get fogging or moisture inside the scope.
Correct. We flick this on. This is a vacuum chamber. It goes down to -30. And then after it's that, we shut it off and slowly open this up, and it fills this chamber back up with Argon.
Perfect.
And after it's back to normal atmospheric pressure, we can open it up, take it out, put this purge screw in, and it's done.
Out they go. So we're over in the Bino room now, and Scott is going to take us through God, that thing looks like it got torched, but we came on a good day. What you do and kind of the process of breaking down a Bino, and if I was to send in this particular binocular.
Yeah, so it'll come to us, and
What happened to these ones? This thing, or did you took all that apart, or is it?
yeah, so this is about halfway torn down right
Okay.
now. So I haven't gone in and really done any kind of major repairs to it yet. At this point, I'm kind of still diagnosing everything.
Okay.
But I found that it was out of alignment and out of focus. So in order to fix that, I've got to tear off the armor and kind of dive deeper into it and remove some of the sealant, get to the alignment screws, and reposition those prisms so that they're in a better calibration with each
Gotcha.
other. So
Scott, how long did it take you to? I mean, you guys sell a lot of different models of binoculars, and you work solely on binoculars. Is that correct?
yeah, we do actually binoculars, spotting scopes, tripods.
But you personally, are this kind of your specialty, the binoculars? Or you can do everything?
Actually, we're all trained to do just
Okay.
about everything. Once somebody gets spun up, they can handle just about anything that comes through the door.
How long did it take you to get, I guess, proficient in diagnosing, understanding, tearing down, and rebuilding binoculars?
We get guys within the first week. They're working on some basic stuff. It probably took me, I would say it's close to a year before you get fully spun up on understanding how they all work, and you can easily transition from one model
Gotcha.
to another. So we keep guys on the same couple basic models for, about 6 months-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, they start getting into more advanced stuff.
Do you dream about rebuilding binoculars at night?
I'm a little ashamed to admit, yeah, I do. Sometimes I wake up and
Dude.
I'm like, oh man, am I at work or in bed? But so
They take it serious here at Vortex. I mean, this is like
we
this
take it
business.
home
It's good
with
business.
us. So
Well, that's fantastic. So this one's mid-process. About how long is this process going to take? I mean,
Sure.
how long have you been working on this so far, and what do you think it's going to take to diagnose and rebuild it?
yeah, so oh man, it really depends on what's wrong with it. Some stuff we get comes in and it's on and off our desks in half an hour to 45 minutes.
I see.
And other stuff, it's more complicated and we might have to do a full rebuild. In that case, we could be working on the same binocular for 5-6 hours,
Wow.
depending on what we might find and the value of that optic to the customer themselves. We try to prioritize. We actually have a marking, a place on our service request form for customers to know whether it's got sentimental value
Like it's
to it.
very meaningful instead of just
Yeah.
it's just a tool that I use for hunting.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
You know, some of these binos have been all over the world with people, and they might note that. So we want to take care of them, and you know, could be completely destroyed. We'd have to rebuild it from scratch, but we'll
You'll
do
go the
that
extra
for 'em.
mile in a situation like that to make sure that they get that special optic
Absolutely.
back in their hands
Yep.
and back into the field
Yep.
for
Make sure
using.
that they're happy, and even sometimes if we can't fix the bino, you know, if we went to the measure where, you know, they're basically not even getting the same bino back. There's stuff that we can do where we can give them basically the shell of the bino, so they can put it on a mantle place or something like
I
that.
see.
Have something to remember it by, and then also hook them up with a new serviceable bino.
That's-
You know, we sort of decommission the old bino, so it's not necessarily in working order anymore.
Sure.
But if that's something that's really important to them, we'll do that for them.
That's pretty amazing.
You know, and again, here we were looking at sort of the dealer.
Paul, we've got the manufacturing right here, which is pretty fascinating.
It
and
is.
then my key card won't work on that door. What's going on behind the secret door?
This is one of the off-limits places here, Kendall. So
okay.
this series of offices on behind you here is where all our product development takes
Okay.
place. So there are teams of engineers in there. Every new thing that we've got coming down the pipeline, it's getting developed in there. So it's pretty off-limits place to take guys
Does
into.
your key card work on that door?
Mine does actually. I get to help out a little bit on that stuff.
We're gonna have
so.
a little chat later, see if we can get some secrets out.
To catch the. I'm looking to see if there's anybody I can grab to give. Perfect.
We're in the manufacturing, and Vortex is not always the manufactured product here in the U.S.
That's correct.
This was
Right.
new when you moved in this building 4 years ago.
That's right. This has grown by leaps and bounds in here, and we have phenomenal capabilities in here now. I can't get into too many projects with you, Kendall,
Yep,
on
absolutely.
actually what's being produced here, but you can see by the level of equipment and machining here, it's pretty top level stuff.
And the quantity. I was here 3 years ago, and there were, I think, 2 or 3 machines
Yeah.
all, and this room was primarily vacant, and it was surprising to see how much you guys have expanded your manufacturing here in the U.S.
That's
and the
absolutely right.
capacity that you have.
Yeah, this used to be fairly empty back in here, and it's rapidly filling up. That's right. Yeah.
The other thing that's impressive is how clean it is. Like, you literally could eat off this floor in here. It is impeccable. Wow. I mean, that's a commitment to just the production, the process. What?
Well, I think it's indicative of the level of quality that we want to be producing here, and it's something that it reflects on having someone like you come in here and look at the place. It reflects on the job that the guys are doing here, the age of this equipment that's in here. In other words, very new state-of-the-art equipment.
Yep.
So yeah, we want to maintain it at a very, very high level.
And
Yeah,
some of the equipment
yeah.
we saw yesterday, you guys have. I mean, you built things specifically for the
Yeah.
process of manufacturing rifle scopes and other things that isn't found anywhere else.
Right,
Some of the
right.
testing machines, it's
Right.
really amazing to see what's going on here and the commitment that you guys, not just in dollars, but technology to create
Right.
some of the best
Well, we
rifle
talked
scopes.
about that. In addition to building scopes and optical equipment on this equipment behind you, these guys they're producing tools and gear for our repair departments to use. That's all built in house. So yeah, absolutely.
Fascinating. This is really cool. Thank you.
That's a nice place.
I'm here in a room called the Metrology room.
Yep.
Now, this isn't anything to do with weather, correct?
Right.
This is all measuring precision, so don't get it mixed up with meteorology. This is a fascinating room, and I think of the entire building, this room probably is the most interesting to me. Why is precision measurement so important to the Vortex manufacturing process and what you guys do here?
So precision is like our name of a game. Like when you get a new rifle scope and you dial 1 MOA, it needs to be exactly 1 MOA. And here in metrology, we have different pieces of equipment that will measure our raw aluminum parts and any piece that goes into a rifle scope binocular in order to hold those standards.
The measuring itself is quite fascinating, and we're not going to be able to show that, but you know, the precision is kind of reflected here on this chart. How small are we talking, like, you know, measurements within your optics?
Sure. Yeah. So this diagram is pretty good. It's blown up, obviously. So, like, if you think of like an actual paper clip, this is a 1,000 microns.
This is the diameter of the paper
of the whole paper clip. So it's blown up, right? A grain of salt would be half of that, 500 microns. Human hair is about 70 microns. So you lose like your limit of visibility between 30 and 40 microns.
Depending on how old you are, sometimes people can see a little clearer than others.
That's fair. That's
All
fair.
right.
And we're measuring down in like the dust and pollen size, like 10 microns, to red blood cell size, 5 to 10.
5 to 10 microns.
Yeah, we're holding tolerances that tight, plus or minus 5 microns.
So these machines behind us, and what you guys are specializing in is making sure that when a rifle scope is produced, these precision points are down to this type of size versus human hair or even grain of salt.
Absolutely. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
This is fascinating, and it really expanded my vision of how precise and how much quality goes into the Vortex products that you guys are manufacturing.
Thank you.
So Lee, this is the measurement machine, but let's say, like, if you're measuring down to 5 or 10 microns, you know, let's say a big diesel truck pulls into the warehouse door right back here, and the building shifts, or it's super cold outside. How do you maintain this room as far as its stability and temperature different from the rest of the building?
Yep. So this whole concrete pad of this whole room is on its independent slab. So like you said, when a big diesel truck comes driving in, and you can feel the vibration out on that floor, if you step into this room, that vibration is extremely reduced, if not completely gone. And then the machine itself has a bunch of like integrated technology.
Yep.
For an example, this doesn't ride on air bearings, so this isn't even touching this granite. Like an air, or
the machine is not.
Yeah, the machine's not riding on bearings. It's actually air bearings, so it's floating. Kind of like if you think of like a hockey table.
Yep.
Like when your puck flies across a hockey table, it just floats across.
It's not actually touching the table.
It's not touching it, so that eliminates some vibration. I mean, you can see how big this granite chunk is. This is 4,900 pounds of granite.
And they were saying yesterday, Mike was telling us yesterday that when you bring this slab in, it's a couple weeks to get it essentially acclimatized to this particular room, the temperature, the stability, before you even start measuring on this.
Yep. Yeah, when this moved from Middleton, and it sat outside in a box truck for one night, and it took 2 weeks for this granite to come back to temperature in order for us to get it calibrated.
Super interesting.
Started moving.
Some of those unknown things that you don't even think about as a hunter that go into the precision of the optics that we're using out in the field. This is fascinating.
Yep. And the room itself is it's temperature control within plus or minus 2 degrees, and it's also positive air. I'm not sure if you noticed when you walked in this door, you got hit with a puff of air.
Yep.
So like this room's positive air, so when you open a door, the air actually escapes. Just try to keep any dust.
Rather than dust and other things coming inside the room. Wow. There you go. It's pretty awesome. So Houston you're a veteran. You've been here how long?
I've been here for 12 years, actually, starting just this January.
Did you start in metrology, or where did you start?
No, actually, I started...
Did metrology exist 12 years ago?
No, it did not, actually. It's relatively new to the manufacturing process that we've been building up, specifically for the AMG line. But when I started here, I started in rifle scope repair and with QC as well.
Gotcha.
And then from there, I moved over to essentially what became the assembly process and helped kind of like work through that process, and then from there kind of stepped back up into quality and working in metrology now.
What when you were 12 years ago in the rifle scope and repair division, how many people were there? I mean, we were just there a little bit ago.
That's true.
And there were I don't know, a dozen guys maybe
Yeah,
there?
there was no one actually. I initially started
You were
this
the man.
job, for that because they needed somebody to do it.
Perfect. So that's interesting. Just 12 years has grown that big with the amount of product that you guys have created. So tell me about this. This is a clean room behind me. And we've got, this is assembly. What are you guys assembling?
It's the 6-24 AMG. That's one of our higher end rifle scopes.
Sure.
That's right up there with the regular Razor line. And we started working on that maybe 6 years ago, I believe.
And that's to be able to go in there. We were looking at that before. It's a full suit.
Yep.
Full like beard covering, everything.
Yeah.
Go into the doors, blast you with air, and then in you go.
Absolutely.
Does it feel like you're in prison a little bit in there? Or?
No,
Okay.
no,
All right, just
no.
wondering.
It's temperature controlled. It's really comfortable.
It's very nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's about, I don't know, 65 degrees in there. Slight breeze.
Year round.
It's nice, year round.
So in the summer, that's the place to be.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
That's fantastic. Thanks for the info. So I'm here in the art room or the studio with Dan, and you've been running this facility for a while now. How long have you been with Vortex?
Been here 10 years now.
10 years.
Yeah.
And this is, if you've ever opened up a Vortex catalog or looked on the website, chances are Dan has had an influence and or done it personally as far as creating things. And some of the images you're using, some of these types of things to create these really cool, I guess, backdrops for the optics.
For our products, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I work directly with the artists, and whatever ideas they can come up with, I have to figure out how to do in the studio.
You're the get it done guy.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We need a few of those around every place. That's awesome. And what is the kind of most interesting thing about your work? What do you come to work each day thinking, man, I love working for this company because?
The day-to-day variety, like I said, working with the artists, they come up with these great ideas that they challenge me to figure out how in the world I'm going to do this. And so we got to come together as a team to produce these photographs that are going to be on Instagram, on Facebook, in the catalog, those kind of things. That's what makes it a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Wow, this has been super interesting. Thanks for showing us around your studio and showing us some of the things that you take to create these fantastic images.
Right. Great. Glad to have you here.
Perfect. I'm right now standing in the studio of the Vortex Nation podcast. This is the inner sanctum. We've been granted permission to come in here, and this is where you'll see all the podcasts, the shorts, and the long version, and a lot of other episodes and things they do in here. They record twice a week. So if you're a podcast listener, or maybe you haven't listened to podcasts, zip over to your favorite podcast distribution location and subscribe to the Vortex Nation podcast. It's really, really pretty cool. And this facility, it's amazing the commitment that Vortex has made to information and education about hunting products and, of course, optics. We're upstairs and overlooking the core.
Right. This is the sales floor that we were looking at down below, and kind of get an interesting perspective here.
Yeah,
the guys'
this is
gear down
magnificent.
there. And
behind me is the marketing team, and we have the brand new 2022 catalog.
right straight out of the box.
It literally came out of the box this morning.
Did. You can still smell the ink on that.
I know. They got a sticker page in here for all the kids out there. This thing's awesome, and we just learned about the studio, and this is the team right here behind it that creates all the marketing, all the branding, everything visual, everything cool about Vortex.
Exactly. All the social media, the marketing, the catalog, all that stuff takes place here in this crew of people up there. So yeah, it's kind of our creative talent here.
And there's a few people out. We know a couple guys were heading out on a hunt today, but this is a great place to be, and all the creative juices happen right here.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So we're up here in the upper deck, and there is another one of the lunch rooms. This is where I would be coming for lunch every day.
This is probably the nicest one. I agree with you. I like this one too.
This is the executive level, even though the marketing team's right around the corner.
It is. Oh yeah,
But,
there are plenty of people that use it here.
You guys are out. You've got spotting scopes. There's some binos down there on tripods. We're looking out over a piece of land that is actually public land.
All public. Yep.
And
beautiful view.
You were saying, yeah, it's absolutely spectacular. You were saying that even in the spring, there'll be turkeys maybe coming out of these woods here, and guys will be running out of the building.
We'll have turkeys
gun in hand,
turkeys
ready
and
to
deer.
go.
Yeah, there have been a few times killed up on that hill behind you out there.
The only bummer about that is then you got the rest of the guys back here critiquing
Oh,
your skill from the balcony.
You're observed from the balcony up here. That's right.
So
yeah, and we do use this for testing spotting scopes and binos up here too. So
yeah. This gives you just a really beautiful view of where we're located here in Wisconsin, and just how spectacular this building, as well as the surrounding area, really is.
It is very pretty. Yeah, we're right on the edge of what's called the driftless zone in Wisconsin, which is beautiful, hilly, a lot of little creek drainages, trout streams, that sort of thing. So it's spectacular country.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing us around. This is a beautiful place. You got to call your work every day.
I love being here. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Paul.
All right.